Welcome to Partnering Leadership, a top global leadership podcast for purpose-driven leaders with a growth mindset, seeking to learn from the leadership journey of change makers and business insights from leading global thinkers. For additional leadership insights and bonus content, visit us at partneringleadership.com. Now here's your host, Mahan Tavakoli.
Welcome to Partnering Leadership. So excited to have you along with me on this journey of learning and growth. And this is going to be the third month in a row where I take the opportunity for my solo episode, which, as you know, I do the first Tuesday of every month, to share some thoughts with you with respect to artificial intelligence and the transformative effect I believe AI and AI hitting its exponential curve are going to have on the future of our lives and on the future of our organizations. I've been having conversations with some leading thinkers on AI, and I will continue that. However, I also wanted to share with you some AI tools in order for you to start visualizing the potential applications of AI. It goes much beyond ChatGPT and what many people have been exposed to at this point. As I've mentioned before, I do believe this is a transformative moment with AI's exponential growth and impact. That said, please also be mindful of the hype bubble. There is a lot of hype that will die down, but that doesn't neglect the seismic shift and impact of the technology. If you think back to the internet bubble, there were days when we had all kinds of companies with a .com at the end of their name, and those companies could raise lots of money and waste tons of it on advertising, including during the Super Bowl. Remember Pets.com, WorldCom, Webvan, and so many other huge failures of the .com bubble? Well, there definitely was a lot of hype around the .com bubble, and while I think AI will be a much more significant force in our lives than the .com transformation was, there is hype in this too. Excitement builds, and excitement will wane as it did with the .com bubble, which, by the way, resulted in people afterwards referring to Amazon as Amazon.bomb. But there were substantial changes, especially in shopping behavior, that lasted beyond the hype cycle and the bust. That will be the same with AI and quite possibly much more. So look at this as a long-term shift and be mindful of the extreme excitement, which will at some point result in extreme disappointment as well. There's an article by J.D. Capuloto in Semaphore News, and he talks about this. I quote him, "The side hustle phenomenon is perhaps more visible," he's talking about the side hustle around ChatGPT, "on YouTube, where there are over 4,000 videos with both ChatGPT and money in the title. Many have dramatic thumbnails and titles like, 'How I Made $21,000 in 7 days,' or 'Make 1 million using ChatGPT.' Oh my God, I better stop recording and go right now make 1 million using ChatGPT. I think if these people could have made 1 million using ChatGPT, they would have been doing it rather than putting up YouTube videos. However, these videos have gotten, some of them, millions of views. So there is a lot of hype. There are people running around pitching that you can make a lot of quick money, whether using ChatGPT or other forms of AI. I do think there is a lot of hype. There are a lot of scam artists, and now a lot of companies are adding AI to their name in order to get some more traction. So yes, this is a bubble that will burst. However, there's substantial technologies that will impact our lives, and we need to pay attention to those rather than to the hype. So that's why in the interim, I want to share these tools so you can start visualizing the potential applications of AI. I'm not necessarily recommending these tools. These are some of the ones I've played around with. I have played with lots of tools, and I'm getting recommendations coming my way of dozens of AI tools every single day. So there are literally hundreds, if not thousands of them out there. The reason I wanted to highlight some of these tools is in order to help you visualize the potential applications. Because when we visualize the types of things AI can do, we can then see more potential both for our own professional development, for our teams, and for our organizations. There's a quote that's been making the rounds on social media about AI, that AI won't take people's jobs. The people who use AI will take other people's jobs. While I'm not sure that is accurate, there is truth to the fact that the future will be augmented, so the people who know how to use AI and the teams and organizations that know how to use AI will be a lot more effective as a result of it. See, our brains are pattern recognition machines, so it's helpful to see things that can help us then detect new patterns in the world around us, see new potential for augmented thinking that AI can provide us, almost like the augmented power that you might have seen in some movies or TV series. When I was a kid, I used to watch reruns of The $6 Million Man. Some of you might not be familiar with it. The $6 Million Man was a science fiction and action TV series that ran from 1973 to 1978 about a former astronaut. He was portrayed by Lee Majors. After a NASA test flight, it had crashed. He had been rebuilt with superhuman strength, speed, vision, because of the bionic implants he had. Now we can view some of the AI tools as bionic support, maybe not at this point implants, for our thinking. You wouldn't want to run against $6 Million Man because his bionic capabilities would have him outpace you. You wouldn't want to lift things compared to $6 Million Man because his bionic abilities would help him lift much more than you could. Same thing for people who will be able to use AI and the teams and organizations that can effectively incorporate AI. It will augment human performance. It will augment human thinking. I'm not sure how many of you have been to London. For many years, taxi drivers in London had to take a test called Knowledge of London. It would take them, in many instances, 3 to 4 years to master memorizing thousands of streets and places in London to be able to take that test and pass it. Lots of capability. But one of the things that has happened over the past dozen years or so is that applications for those black cabs, which would have to get this license, have dropped by more than 95%. Now, the decline is for many different reasons, including the introduction of Uber. But think about it also this way. While it's pretty impressive for your taxi driver to know all the streets in London by heart, as an occupant, all you care about is to get from point A to point B. It doesn't matter if the taxi driver has it memorized or is being guided by GPS. If anything, the driver who's being guided by GPS might be able to avoid traffic jams than the driver using his or her memory would not be able to do. So this is an instance of an augmented driver with GPS. The augmentation being the ability to have a smartphone, use the app, Waze, or whatever else they want to use on that smartphone immediately gives them the knowledge and more capability than a driver who has spent 4+ years memorizing 25,000 streets and 100,000 landmarks in London. This is exactly what is going to happen in most of our jobs, teams, and organizations. That's why I want to introduce you to some of these AI tools. I'm not necessarily recommending any of them. I want you just to go to their sites, look at their functionality. Many of them have free options. For those of you who are interested, you can sign up and play around with them. You might find some to be cumbersome and not want to use them. Might find others to be outstanding and continue using them, as I am with some of these. That's not as much the point as being able to visualize the potential that AI brings to our performance, our team's performance, and the organization's performance. So, all that said, here's the list, and I'm going to put a link to each one of these sites in the show notes. Again, no affiliate relationships, no relationship at all with any of these tools. They are just a series of tools, many of them that I continue to use in order to both make my work more effective and also to understand application of AI better. The first one is Notion. Notion is something that you can use as an individual, a team, or an organization. It's a place where you can think, write, plan, capture thoughts, manage projects, and now they have added Notion AI, which takes advantage of artificial intelligence to make the process a lot more seamless for you. Another one is Tome. I'm sure at one point or another, you've had to make PowerPoints or another way of communicating a message. I'm a big advocate of storytelling, as you know. Tome, which just raised $43 million in a Series B funding in a very tough fundraising climate, is revolutionizing presentations. It's AI-powered storytelling app. It creates visually stunning and engaging presentations, and it's pretty easy to use. The third one is spiritme.tech. It's an instant video production and digital avatar. You can type any text and it will generate a video with your appearance, voice, and emotions. Fourth one is Ask AI. You can build your own AI Q&A with content in minutes. Then with Delphi.com. This is really interesting. You can go to withdelphi.com and there is a tab for presidents. You can ask your favorite presidents or your favorite experts, the ones that Delphi has programmed in, any questions and seek their advice. Think about it. In the near future, when we are struggling with a thought or a decision, we can get advice from some of the smartest minds that are present today or smartest minds in history. I've tried a couple of the presidents, has pretty good answers. But again, remember, part of the functionality is I want you to visualize the potential and where all of this AI is headed. Some of the AI companies are using this type of technology to train internal chatbots with the internal information of the organization so it can answer questions. I had the conversation earlier with Dan Turchin, CEO of PeopleRain, and if you recall, what they do is they have a chatbot, internal chatbot, that answers human resources and IT questions trained on internal data of an organization. The sixth one is Jasper AI. Jasper is a copywriter, a content generator for primarily teams. What it does is it helps teams create content that is tailored for their brand. So it does everything from copywriting to ad writing to writing for social media. It's incredibly powerful. The seventh tool is tooltips.ai. Tooltips is a simple contextual explanation of any highlighted text on the web or PDF. So what it does really quickly, it helps you understand and gives you the explanation and summary of any PDF or content that you share with it. The eighth one is rationale.gina.ai. That is a fascinating AI decision-making tool. What it helps people do is make informed decisions with their state-of-the-art GPT-trained model and in-context learning algorithms. So partly what it does is that the AI learns from your decisions and it improves over time, making it more accurate and personalized in the recommendations it gives you. The ninth one is Fireflies, which is an AI meeting assistant that uses natural language processing to eliminate the need for note-taking during meetings. So you can easily record, transcribe, and search across all your voice conversations when you use this platform. And then finally, just for the fun of it, there is Boomy.com. There you can create AI music and you can share it with the world if you want. It's pretty interesting to play around with that. So part of the reason for sharing these tools with you is because I believe when we start seeing potential applications of AI, we will be able to see additional applications for ourselves, our teams, and organizations. And we will be able to see patterns of what AI is effective for and can be used for. So check out some of these AI tools, look for patterns, try to see the bigger picture and experiment. That's the way to learn and expand our minds. I also have great conversations coming for you, specifically going deeper with people who have spent a lifetime studying and advising organizations on AI. On March 23rd, I have a conversation with Louis Rosenberg. He is an augmented reality and virtual reality pioneer and CEO of Unanimous AI, outstanding AI tool, Swarm Technology, where they take advantage of human intelligence and AI for decision making. It's powerful and a great conversation with him. And then on April 20th, I have a conversation with Yuval Atzman. He's a senior partner of McKinsey out of their London office and advises organizations on use of AI in organizational strategy and the strategic applications of AI and the impact of AI on business model strategy. So those are a couple of conversations coming up. I have many more with AI thought leaders and thought leaders on leadership management as we look to have a greater impact as we lead ourselves, our teams, and organizations through the transformation ahead. I love hearing from you. Keep your comments coming. Mahan at mahantavakoli.com. There's also a microphone icon on partneringleadership.com. Feel free to leave voice messages for me there. Let me know which one of these tools you used, which ones you like, which ones you don't, and if you run across any others that you find to be helpful to your thinking, to your work, to your organization, and can benefit the rest of the community.
You have been listening to Partnering Leadership with your host, Mahan Tavakoli. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review of the podcast on your favorite podcasting app and forward the conversation to a friend or colleague so you can help more people discover their purpose, grow professionally with meaning, and have a greater impact. For additional leadership insights and bonus content, visit us at partneringleadership.com.